Episode 162 anime podcast here, Red Leaf Retrocast. Tori, Hickey. Got a Christmas episode here. Very Christmassy.
Very Christmassy.
Yeah, there is a walnut. That counts as Christmas.
What?
Right?
Sure. Yeah.
Do you have a Christmas song in your culture about walnuts?
You guys don't have walnuts to Christmas?
No?
No.
No?
No.
Shit. I guess it's a Portuguese thing.
I guess so. I don't see the connection. Walnut Christmas.
We ate a bunch of everything has walnuts in Christmas.
Not everything.
You eat
no.
like walnut pudding and walnut like delicacies, and even put walnut in salad.
No. What?
Ah, shit! I just fuck! I just said something very Portuguese. God damn it!
No, that's awesome. I mean, in German, it's
wrong, but
Glühwein. There's nutmeg and cinnamon and shit, and hot wine. There's that. There's no walnuts though.
Yeah, no. Here's all about ginger. Ginger, everything.
Well, that's interesting. We just learned a thing about a bunch of cultures when it comes to Christmas.
Ginger, sheep. We eat a lot of sheep as well and whatnot. So
sheep.
Sheep.
So
sheep
hold on a sec.
Do you sacrifice sheeps in the to praise Jesus? Is that what you do?
Yeah, definitely to praise Jesus. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you guys know what a Damasco is? It's a little fruit. No?
I think there's a translation here going on in that one.
No, I'm pretty sure that's the name in English as well.
Well, then I definitely don't know.
Maybe, but I've never heard of it before.
So what is this fruit?
It's the Turkish fruit.
Well, then I'm going to take a wild guess and assume
fruits.
that fruit name is in Turkish.
Never. That would be ridiculous.
Yeah. Okay, so we're doing The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. Good little movie. Nice little easy thing to watch.
Through time?
Girl Who Leapt Through Time, yeah. I assume you watched it. Since
what?
We're here.
I was supposed to watch it? Shit.
Yeah, that does involve watching the movie that we've picked for the podcast.
I thought it was okay that I just read the synopsis and looked at the picture. I was like, "Yep, that girl sure is leaping." All right.
Yeah, I just
like one of those lords in that song I've heard.
I just read the synopsis, like, oh yes, of course, Kazuo, the main character. Of course, her name is Kazuo. She's a middle schooler, yeah.
Yep, Kazuo, yeah. Yeah, I mean, all that, and, I also heard, like, time waits for no one, like, that I've heard before, so, like, yeah, I watched it, of course.
Well, as soon as I heard the phrase, time waits for no man, and this is a woman, I'm like, well, time's not going to wait for her. Plot solved.
Yeah, plot solved. Yeah, but, I mean, they just went, time waits for no one, it's like, I see. Understandable.
And also, surprised face, surprised Kalmoji, as good old 2006.
Yeah, so this follows our last episode of Monster, which the feedback was good from Monster. I was quite surprised.
Nice.
Yeah.
Monster's good.
Monster's very good.
Monster's good.
The guy who how long until we watch the next 25?
I don't know. It's up to you, I guess.
The ball is in my court.
So, yeah, we have picked our show, so you haven't picked yours. So
I have not.
That is true.
Got tough choices here to make.
Just please, not in January, or else that's gonna be very suffering heavy.
Yeah, we got Rosa Versailles to kick off the new year. I'm very excited to discuss that one, 1978. Mostly because it's very culturally important, and also maybe not relevant to the anime this podcast, but for wrestling, there was a duo from the 70s called Beauty Pair, and much of their success in that industry was based on Rosa Versailles and its kind of gender bending aspects to it. So Rosa Versailles was it's going to be very fun to discuss that one rather than just the anime itself. It's how it impacted society. So look forward to that episode to kick off the new year, probably in that first week. So guys, I have been playing some video games, and I want to know if you have any experience with these things. I know, crazy. Looked at my...
I have no experience with video games, no.
So. No, you've never played one ever in your life? I understand. It's for losers
never,
anyways.
Ever.
So I'll talk about my loser thing that I did.
What have you played, JD,
so,
in the past week? Last 5 days?
Well, I mean, besides podcast games, which is for the other podcasts that I do, before I really kick it this weekend and finish and beat Final Fantasy 16, I wanted to see... I got this inkling. I was at GameStop, place that probably... I'm shocked it's still open as as a thing in 2023.
Most places it is not open anymore.
Right. So, I was in there to pre-order Final Fantasy VII Part 2. You know, maybe you've heard of that one, Tori. You have any experience with Final Fantasy VII?
I have never played Final Fantasy VII at any point in my life. I do know about it, and I do know about the remake. But I don't know. Probably never played.
Okay, so remake, good game.
I only played old Final Fantasies. I played Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
we're like, okay, I am okay. 16. Then it becomes kind of like 4, 5. 5 is okay. 7 is like, this is not 2D. Hey, you know, it's way too advanced for me.
Oh, blew his mind.
I have an old soul.
I only played 10 and I didn't like it, so.
Okay. Well, the point is, I was there for that game, and then just so happened there was some sort of deal going on with my little pro membership thing that I have, and essentially I walked out with a game called Deathloop. I've been keeping my eye on for a couple of years. So...
Oh, yeah, I know.
You're familiar with that, Hickey?
I am. I don't know about the game, but I know the name.
It's relevant because we just watched Girl Who Leapt Through Time, and this is a first-person shooter game, sort of also puzzle-related, about a guy who keeps, every time he dies, he goes back, he leaps through time to try to break a loop. Similar concept to the Girl Who Leapt Through Time, and on a base level. But you get the idea.
What is the name? All you need is to kill. Yeah? Remember that? With Tom Cruise?
So, I was playing that, and I was like, oh my god, this is good, but it moves really weird. And I was trying to figure out why I was kind of getting disoriented. It took a while to get used to it. So then that reminded me of another series of 2 games called Mirror's Edge. Are you guys familiar with this one?
Oh, yeah.
Which one?
Mirror's Edge.
Oh, Mirror's Edge. Yes, it's also fun.
So you guys have played this?
I played a little
Mirror's
bit.
Edge, yes.
What'd you think?
It was fun.
It's fun? Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
it's just fun. There's nothing. There's not a lot. It's like, oh yeah, the plot is, the conspiracy of good big corporations and the beginning of a really maybe accurate dystopia where high sky buildings and skyscrapers is everywhere, and we are dominated by big corporations. I'm not gonna say anything of that. It was fun. You jump, you
run and jump. It's awesome.
the movement of it, there's a lot of games that have tried to have parkour elements and movement elements, and it's it always feels very, very clunky. Mirror's Edge is, in my experience, one of the better ones when it comes to the movement. It managed to nail that feeling of just you feel like you can nail any run, any jump. It feels fluid. It feels nice to run around, but at the same time, it's not you can also fuck up. It's not like you can just do anything. So it's it's fun. Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like the story wise is sort of gave up on that pretty quickly. And it was one of those games as well where I thought to myself, I could see myself speedrunning this, and then I watched a speedrun of it, and I was like, never mind. This isn't a game anymore.
That's usually how speedrunning works. Oh man, I think I'm pretty good at this.
Mirror's Edge is egregious. Mirror's Edge is egregious.
Is it?
You don't do anything. Yeah, everything.
Oh
like
okay.
It's like it's not even glitches or anything. It's just the game is so fucking bugged out that like you're just fucking like, okay, anyway, so we just clip through this building right here and we land at the exit. There we go. Level 1 complete. We move over here. There should be a little alleyway through here that you aren't supposed to be able to go through. But if you jump on here and jump over here, you can get there, and that'll take you right to the end. It's like, okay, cool. So like you don't do anything.
All right. So Mirror's Edge speedrun, 31 minutes, and then a glitchless speedrun, 50 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
Any percentage, 25 minutes, 49 seconds, world record. Okay, hold on. I'll watch a little bit of this because this sounds absurd.
There's some absolutely stupid shit you do in that game. I mean, at least it's not. We're not talking like old Pokemon speedrun level of bullshit. Where it's just like we sign in, we mess around with some shit, and there we go. We beat the game in 0 seconds. Like, cool.
It's nothing like that, no.
But,
kind of janky looking when you speedrun it. You just see arms and legs flailing around in awkward positions.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the game is pretty jank, all things considered. But, like, it's fine. It's a fun game. It's a very fun game.
Now, I'm not familiar too much with the plot
speedrunning.
Other than what Hickey said, where it's, like, conspiracy-ridden with corporations. But is it more or less an anime-type story? It presents itself that way, or am I totally out to lunch on that?
Nah, it's like fucking Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Okay.
But only the part where you're just a lowly employee.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say it's very anime, but like it's definitely like I don't think it takes itself too seriously. At least on the first game. I'm not entirely sure about the second. But I
haven't played the second one. I think the second one they try harder.
I think so too. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've heard from people as well that the second game isn't as fun or as good.
Well, the second one is currently on sale on the store for $2. So I have the first one. Disc on PS3, and I'm like, for $2, well, what's the worst? I played for 20 minutes and don't like it. I was like, that sounds like $2. That sounds like worth $2 to try.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, it was like girl through love through time to Deathloop to then that same first person perspective of running and doing shit, and it's like that led me to Mirror's Edge, which reminds me of anime type deal. So we went full circle. We went in. We it's almost like time is a full circle. No, maybe.
I guess.
Mm.
I guess.
So that's what I was up to. I'll talk about it more in the gaming podcast. But I did beat Super Mario Wonder and Mario RPG Remake. That was a nice time. Last couple of weeks. How about you guys?
Nice.
What you guys doing? You watch anime?
I haven't watched much anime. I've also played some games. I recently, during one of the Steam sales, I recently picked up Cyberpunk 2077 and started playing that.
Ooh, okay, that's anime. That's anime based.
So that is anime based. Well, there's an anime based on it, yes. And yeah, no, the game is. I'm like 10 hours into it right now. The game is very fun. I like the world. I like how you interact with the world. I like how the world sort of works around you. The game is definitely still a little janky, but nowhere near as bad as it was when it came out. But I have had some funny moments. I stole someone's car, and all the police was like, "Holy shit, kill this bitch!" So the police just fucking just start swarming instantly. And I was like, damn, I knew there was one guy, but I didn't realize there was so many. So,
Oh, that's a big
by.
thing in the game is you do like one crime and there's like 1,000 officers immediately on your ass.
Yeah. And I was prepared to I'm going to try to lose them, and then maybe like if I can't, I'll kill them somewhere else where I'm not completely surrounded. So I try to drive, and the moment I drive, a car spawns under me and yeets me into the sky. I was like, okay, that's one way to escape. I have no idea how the car spawned under me, but that was fun. So the game's still a little jank, but it's fun jank. It's nothing too bad.
I do like that in some Assassin's Creed games when things start freaking out on you. It's like all of a sudden I am in my like pirate ship, and all of a sudden I am 50 feet in the air. How will I get down?
Yeah. No, that was just weird because it's like I'm gonna drive. It's like I was like, what? Why is there a car in me? Wait, why am I in the air? But yeah, the missions are fun. The dialogue is I mean, what do you expect? The moment Johnny shows up, Johnny Silver shows up, it's a little it becomes a lot more like druggy induced, I guess you could say. The fucking stuff. Yeah, we're all dragged down by consumerism. It's like, okay, all right, cool.
I see.
I'm gonna have to deal with this guy. All fucking game. Great. But it's okay. And the random shit that happens while I ran into, like, accidentally stumbled upon like a street musician, and Johnny just sits down next to him, and like he's just playing his guitar. He's playing it really badly, and it's like, what do you think about this guy? And it's like, dude, he is awful at what he does. It's like, nah, man. He but doesn't know much about timings, and his chords are all wrong, and like he has basically no musical genius. Basically no musical genius in his body, but he's seen some shit. He is clearly hurting, and he is trying to give expression for that. And that is art, man. That is art. And it's like, oh god. Oh, this guy. But yeah, no, it's fun. It's a fun game.
Okay. Hickey, you got anything, or shall we get into our amazing movie review?
I am going to my
Christmas
vacations.
movie.
You're going to what now?
Vacations.
I'm going on
Yay.
vacation too. I'm on vacation right now, actually.
Awesome.
Damn.
That's right.
Remember to eat some nice stuff with walnuts because it's the end of the year.
I knew it'd come full circle. I was expecting the walnut to come out.
And also Italian food.
Intake.
Italian food. We are in December. I'm unofficially Italian. There's only Italian food at my home.
Only Italian food and walnuts.
I'm gonna get like a walnut pie or something just for you, Hickey. That's what I'll do.
Nice.
Take a picture and throw it in Discord and be like, see?
Yes,
Walnut
it's
culture.
Gonna get a walnut.
Portuguese traditions.
There is a large Portuguese cultural base here in Rhode Island, so it wouldn't shock me if I go to the bakery or something, there's something walnut thing going on. Okay. Yeah, I'm going snowboarding on Monday. That's my plan. That's what's happening there. And then I will clearly need a full day of recovery because I haven't snowboarded in 2 years. So hopefully I can do more.
Only one day? Are you sure? You just need one day?
Yeah, I mean I suppose I could go.
You're not sure it's like
2
a
days,
week?
but well, it takes a couple hours to get there, and look, lift passes are expensive now. Like they're really, really high, and I think there's more winter to come for sure. So I'll have more chances.
I don't know what you're talking about, dude. Winter, what is that?
Well, yeah. For
That's
me, there's
something you
more winter to
eat?
come. For me and Tori.
You eat it? Damn.
I don't know.
Winter.
I never seen winter before.
Well,
I am going to hell, but also to summer. It's very hot. It's raining as well, which is good because we are going through a drought The problem is sometimes the rain doesn't reach the ground; it just evaporates before it, and that's not really good.
Nice. I don't know, man.
That sounds
good to me.
uncomfortable. Okay.
It's still spring.
I will play a drop here, and we can get into The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. What are we feeling here? Ooh. Oh, we haven't played a Rashomon in a long time. There you go. Decision made.
Oh.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Midnight submarine.
Tori, did that Midnight Submarine bring back horrid memories to you? Is that what happened there?
Of course. God. Urashiman. Ugh.
Is that one of the worst things that kind of stuck with us on this podcast when we reviewed it?
Probably. I think so, yeah.
How long ago was that? Let's see.
Not long enough.
It has to be over 3 years now, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, let's see. Rashomon. I gotta do a Control F5 there. Rashomon. There it is. Episode 67, February 2020. So yeah, it was a while ago. We gave it a 3.
2020.
This is terrible.
We did our winter impressions of 2020 then. Damn.
Good times. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, we'll have to do that next time. Is the Moving Bar and winter impressions. That'll be kick off the new year.
Woo!
Or
Yay.
preview and impressions. But okay.
Woo!
Girl Who Leapt Through Time. Toke wa Kakuro Shoujo. That do anything for you, Hickey? Am I getting better?
Yes.
Okay.
You're getting there. Getting there.
Dude, he almost couldn't get the words out. Yes. that physically pained him.
It's the thing.
Yeah, it was fun.
Well, everyone here knows a second language, so I guess everyone can understand when you go into their classes and you get to intermediary to advanced, and the teacher just goes, if you speak fast enough, it will sound correct. And it's like, oh, okay. It's like, yes, you're getting there.
It's like good enough, I guess. You fucking German-speaking bitch. I know, I heard it. Okay, Studio Madhouse. July 15th, 2006 was the release date. Licensed by Kanekawa. Directed by...
Mamoru Hosoda.
Fucking 60 years, by the way, of Kadoka licensing this, because they are the original publishers of the 1965 novel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you had some interesting facts about kind of what the show was and what its origins were. We were kind of talking about that before the podcast, and I didn't know like any of it. So, Hickey,
I also
take it
didn't
away.
know any of that. Although it clearly states on the English Wikipedia. Well, the Girl Who Leapt Through Time, the 2006 animated movie, is actually not the adaptation of The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, a 1965 to 1966 science fiction novel.
Yeah, so I didn't know about the novel
sequel-
prior at all.
Ish, where the main character of the 1965 novel is Kazuko Yoshiyama, and you know her because she's the auntie that works in the museum. She's the main character of the original novel, and she could also leap through time in 1960 something. Also, that means she's like 60 something on on the anime.
Right, so
So
maybe
she's-
They did that. They did ask to be like, can you go and check up on her to tell her that she needs to get married soon? So yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Well, she was in middle school, so like let's say she was 12, right? 11.
Middle school.
I don't know about that.
It was like 13.
65. 13? Usually you start high school with 13 years old where I'm from, so.
Well, where you're from.
Yeah, not here.
Not here. You and your weird walnut culture is now infecting high school ages.
Oh, that's a little bit not my culture. You need to blame Portugal for that.
Mexico's a
So
weird
she's
country.
40... No, 50 something.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah, but she's the main character of the original novel that it has been published in the UK and France because sure.
I can read both those languages.
Yeah, so you can find the novel and read the novel.
I might do that. Is it on Amazon? Is it on Amazon? Can I get it on Kindle? Let's see. Let's do it. Do it in real time. That's what we came here for.
Maybe. I don't know.
Book. Okay. See if anything comes up. Girl Up Through Time. Yasutaka Tsutsui.
Tsui, yeah, who also wrote the novel for Paprika, a Satoshi Kon movie.
I can get it on Kindle. There we go.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
$10. All right. 178
How many pages does it have?
You know, Hickey, we're on the same page with that one. 178.
That's not bad.
No, that's a quick read. Knock that out quick. Cool.
Although, remember, that's 1965 Japanese literature and science fiction. It might not be your cup of tea because Japanese literature is kind of, I don't know how to, kind of boring.
You heard it here first. It's kind of bad.
It's kind of boring. I didn't say it's kind of bad. I cannot judge that.
No. I clearly heard kind of bad. I clearly heard you're judging an entire country and it's...
That is true. That is true.
I don't know. This
boring.
is from an Amazon customer here. And this says, to think a story from 1967 can be this detailed and have interesting imagination of what the future will be like, it's a must read. So, Hickey,
yes, the problem is not the problem is not the richness.
The people in the past could write.
I think the major problem.
The people in the 60s knew how to write a book. Damn, dude. Shit.
It could be a problem between adaptation and translation from Japanese to Portuguese. And so the novel usually the novels tend to be kind of boring. But because I'm not reading in Japanese, I'm reading in Portuguese, so it's been translated and adapted. So might be that. Then I have,
it's clearly Japan's fault.
Probably. Probably. I'm not discounting everything I'm seeing in anime.
I will never forgive the Japanese.
Oh, I can buy a used version of the physical book for $3.
How about the shipping?
Free shipping, because I have Amazon Prime, bitch. There we go.
Oh, wow. You have Amazon Prime. Look at this guy.
We are blinded by consumerism in today.
It goes so. Well, time to commit. Never mind. I'm not gonna go there.
Okay, so the girl left through time. The power to travel through time. Kuma shock. It can be used.
What?
Yeah, it was so weird. It can be used for the good of humanity or just selfishly abused, like fixing your tests and not being late for class. While many may fantasize of obtaining such a power, it has become nothing less than reality for otherwise normal schoolgirl Kono Makoto. After a fated event, her life takes a turn for the extraordinary. She gets hit by a train. Though she initially uses her powers to literally leap into the past and change little things in order to make her life easier. Gotta say, I'd do that too. She soon has to face the fact that changing the past can have drastic consequences. The butterfly effect, if you will. What you think of the movie, Tori? Why don't you go first?
Oh man, what do I think of this movie? So this is the second time I watched it.
Same.
And the first time I watched it, I enjoyed it. Although there's definitely a lot of context that I missed, which makes sense now that I know that it's based on a previous novel. There's certain things that I feel like aren't super well fleshed out, like by itself.
Okay.
There's still a lot of like questions, especially surrounding the end and sort of stuff that I feel like you just kind of have to take for granted, and like we just trust people now, and slight comments made here and there, such as the believability of just like I can leap through time. Yeah, no, I believe that. That makes sense. It's like it makes it seem like it's normal and stuff like that. There's so many like odd little pieces of dialogue in there that feels out of place. But now knowing the context behind it, it makes more sense. But yeah, like on my second view, I definitely liked the movie less. It wasn't as fun the second time around, in my opinion. It was kind of more boring. Not really that interested. I don't particularly like Makoto as a main character. She's very easygoing, kind of the point. But like, I don't know. I can't really sympathize with her in any way. I can't really like get behind her time. Yes, I understand like wanting to change stuff around. You'd be like, shit, this went wrong for me. Well, if I went back and redid it, I could do everything right because now I know. It's like, yeah, and I get that, but like, I don't know. I feel like the drama beats that sort of comes off of that, and her sort of handling of everything. It's very, very immature, even for a high school girl. Just, I wasn't super big on it this time around either. As far as I'm concerned, this is one of my less liked Mamoru Hosoda movies. I don't think this is his best work.
Well, it doesn't leave much of the good works. It's either Summer Wars or the Wolf Children.
Both of which I think is better than this one.
That's true. Both of them are actually better. And if you consider the Summer Wars is also like in between, there's an Grow Leapt through time and Wolf's Children.
Summer Wars is also just an expansion of well, it's based on the same idea that he did when he did Bokuran the War Game, Digimon Bokuran the War Game. It's basically the same idea.
But also, like, this is the first movie he did with collaboration with the script writer for this one, and she does the screenplays and live actions. So since it was the first time she was coming to do the anime movie, it might influence on how it plays out. Also, being the second a retale of a 1965 science fiction novel, you get kind of constrained to the tone of the series, the original series, which is a tragic love. This one is also a tragic love, so
kind of, but like again, it's back to that same thing, which like it's a tragic love, yes, but not really. Like, I don't know, maybe I just can't sympathize with it because of the time travel element, but it's like
I guess so.
I just aspect of it, and then the other part, the initial drama, what we think of for a lot of the movie, like the sort of tragic love that we think it is for a lot of the movie, where basically fucking both her fucking boy toys around there are just trying to confess her, and she's like, no,
don't do that.
No. redo, So yeah, I think it's an okay movie. It's definitely not a bad movie, but it's not like, I don't think it's an amazing movie. I think it's a little wacky in its execution. I think it's a little whimsical, kind of like the main character.
That's interesting because when I first watched it a number of years ago, I can actually look up when I first watched it. Let's see here. Because that does bring me more context. Let me just pull that up really quick. Details, and here we go. Because I was very taken with the movie the first time. I watched it in November 2016. So, hey, how about that? So, God, that was that was a while ago in context now. But yeah, I was very enamored with the movie, and I believe this was my first experience with Mamoru Hoshi or Hosoda. Jesus.
Mamoru Hoshi. Hosoda.
Mamoru Hosoda. I probably watched something before, and I just can't remember. But it got me really on a kick of a lot of his films that I ended up watching back to back to back to back, like Wolf Children, Summer Wars. You get the idea, and I really liked his art style, his character interaction. I know what you mean, that maybe a lot of the characters are more immature, especially in the main character role. He seems to have that from movie to movie, show to show that he has. It's kind of a tick with him. You know.
Yeah,
whatever.
no, but a lot of the characters as well are younger, so it's like,
Yeah, so it doesn't bother me per se. It's like, yeah, you know, when you have 13 to 15-year-old main characters, it kind of makes sense to me.
Hell, even Wolf Children's like, the fucking one child is really misbehaving. Yeah, he's a fucking child.
Right. Go figure. So I'm watching this the second time, and I think it's because, as one does when you kind of rewatch things about time travel, a lot of it's now been spoiled for you, right? You kind of know the events that are going to happen, and it's not as impactful. So I definitely agree with the aspect that it doesn't hit as well on a rewatch. The first time it certainly did. So I very much still enjoyed it. It did have a ceiling that did kind of surprise me because of how much I definitely enjoyed this the first time. It was highly ranked for me. The second watch, not so much. So I think we're more or less on the same thought process there, Tori.
Let's see. I don't know, it didn't change much from first watch to second watch or third watch, I think. I enjoy time traveling plots. But yeah,
You do enjoy time traveling, huh?
Yeah, sometimes, I am drinking and then I blink and it's been 2 days.
All right.
But it's definitely hard to rewatch a time travel series if there's not a lot of conflict that keeps on being the series being interest. So even if you know the twist, even if you know the end, even if you know that it will be the same kind of resolution that is always the resolution for time traveling and butterfly effects, you just need to just time travel to fix everything.
Yeah,
because you have impactful things, you can definitely make a war file to watch again. I can just quote Steins Gate, which is regarded as probably the best time traveling series when it comes down to animation, Japanese animation.
Certainly in popularity.
But the impact of them hacking to CERN, and I cannot read everything of the emails, but there's this one phrase in English: "Human is dead," mismatch. The tension of the scene, and which is episode 10, 12, and the tension of the show is enough that the plot of time travel is kind of secondary to all the conspiracy that is going on. Here, there's none of this. There's just a very happy high school girl who goes through the phases of time travel inconvenience. So I think it's interesting. I think she's childish. She's childish in nature, but that's episode one, minute one. you already established that she is very mature to her age. She just wants to fool around. She's kind of dumb. She holds
Kind of aloof.
this. Yeah, she holds this auntie of hers in high regard. But as the story progresses and she understands like she can time travel, you go from fixing some mistakes, the test,
Right.
to getting convenience. Something convenient to happen.
Right. Like, don't miss the bus. You get there on time.
Don't miss the
Things like
bus
that.
and what.
Something simple.
To being spoiled. I want to sing karaoke for 24 hours. I'm gonna leap 24 times. I want to eat the same thing I ate yesterday. I didn't prepare the food. My family's preparing the food. I complaining about food that is being prepared and put on my table for me to eat, and I didn't do anything. I would just jump to yesterday and eat the same thing I ate before. Even a little bit of petty revenge, or can say revenge because it didn't happen since she leapt the third time, that is traveling back in time just to eat her pudding because the sister ate. And so you go through like all the conveniences of time traveling that are not really concerned to violence or deaths. Well, there's death, but not in the sense of murders or any sort of conspiracy theory. In a sense, The Girl Who Left Third Time, this version, especially being 2006, reminds me a lot of The Butterfly Effect. Those
Right. That's
movies.
kind of why I mentioned that right at the start.
Yeah, because the movie Butterfly Effect, right? Not the phenomenon, the hypothetical phenomenon. There's a bunch of movies called The Butterfly Effect that a guy is going through a death. Well, the first movie I believe is that the guy's going through a death experience. He's dying, and as he's dying, he discovers he can leap through time. So he starts leaping to make his life better, and then leaping to make his life convenient, and then leaping for spoil things, to win to win more stuff, to get the best a woman, to have sex with the woman he really wants to have sex. And then when he gets to the high tension of the movie is like, oh shit, I fucked a bunch of people's lives. I'm feeling really bad. Here is two of the characters dying, and she can't leap anymore. And then he starts leaping backwards to the first time, and it becomes more like Steins Gate in that sense, because he gets to a point where if I leap again, I will die, because the original leap saved me from dying. I think it was drowning, if I'm not mistaken, or
something like that.
Two movies together. Yeah. And in this sense, leaping to moment zero in this show is good. It's a good thing. There is no conflict. If she leaps, like she couldn't leap, that is the tension, the conclusion, the major point. But the guy who came from the future leaps for her, and then you have like the happy conclusion that one leap and nullified the other. So technically, everyone now is going to this perpetual cycle of having one leap left. And so it kind of loses a little bit of interest because you don't have the final, everyone cannot be happy. Everyone must be sad.
That's always a conclusion, or not always, but it tends to be a conclusion with time shows where not everyone can be satisfied. But I wanted to go back to one of the key things you said at the start of all this was, I think the key to a lot of time travel shows is the conflict aspect, and what I think a big discussion could be with Girl Who Leapt Through Time is the conflict enough to keep you interested? Because even though it doesn't have those aspects of like violence or trying to stop a murder or anything, it's really about kind of human desires and how to tackle that in a mature sense. And also, when I was thinking about how to criticize the show at the end with, there's a finite amount of leaps that these people have, whether it's a device or her own power, and because of her selfish desires, that she burned through them all, and it makes you wonder, okay, if she went through her life with utilizing this ability in a mature manner, what else could she have accomplished in her life? Or does it all just go back to moment zero after all? Like, could she have led 2 lives in 2 lifetimes if she would have done this better? That's what I was thinking about, and the fact that maybe we could even have a sequel kind of go in that route.
Okay, so I think that's the plot of Orange. I think it's the name.
Or
I never saw that. Maybe I should.
Because they get to the end, and then the main character leaps through time. When she was in high school, and she knows one of the classmates will die.
I remember.
So like every time
they don't really leap though. They don't really leap though. They send like messages.
Oh yeah, that's true. They send the messages. That is true.
They tell themselves in the past.
Man, that show got a lot of flack, but it was really cool. I enjoyed that show.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a lot of problems with like melodrama and like kind of suspension of disbelief and stuff like that. Like, doesn't make sense. I mean, first things first. Who the fuck picks up a note from somebody that says this is to you from to yourself from your future self? It's like, oh shit, I got to pay attention to this. If I got a note like that, I'd throw it away and be like, yeah, sure, good fucking joke.
Yeah, but that's an interesting thing, because they try to paint the butterfly effect as a good thing. The people in the future are trying to provoke them in the past to change some stuff, so we can have a different, they cause a butterfly effect and change the future, even if they accomplish something. Even if they accomplish the death of the guy is so miserable to them, so they might as well just cause a fucking huge butterfly effect than stay in the miserable future. That show is really cool. But again, you still have even in that kind of sense, the show doesn't have any of those like huge conflicts. The conflict we'll end up having is like the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's only a 98-minute movie. It's just over an hour and a half. A lot of it's the journey leading up to that final half hour, which I'm okay with because it gets you very much involved with the characters' lives, who they are. I think her maturity level is very important to understand to get through this, where she just wants to enjoy kind of the simplistic things of high school life, and then very quickly realizes...
because they kind of...
Go ahead, Tori.
They kind of mocked that as well. They mocked the butterfly effect kind of as well, right? Because that's one of the things they bring up. It's literally just like by doing this, you will affect other people's lives. And Makoto's response to that is literally just like...
Her aunt says that.
No way, right? Because knows. Like, how... Yeah, no, but like, how is what she's going to do affect the world? Like, I just went back in time to have the same dinner twice. How is that going to affect anyone, right? Like, you know that sort of stuff.
Right.
But obviously, it's not necessarily those things. It's like her changing place with that one dude so that he ended up messing up everything, and suddenly he got bullied and he fucking snapped and stuff like that, right? And I get that. All of that is fine. I just feel like the meat and potatoes of this show, kind of, which is like the last 30, not even last 30 minutes. I think that even that is giving you too much. It's like the last like 25. Yeah, right. It's like,
I think
that's 20, when you really get to the
30, 20, because you have the when is the love confession?
Which one?
Which one?
Chiaki.
There's multiple.
Chiaki. Chiaki love confession.
That happens like in the midpoint, but that she glosses over that really fast, and you move past that very quickly. But that's when everybody starts having their own fucking romances, which kind of becomes sort of part of the point, but you don't like it doesn't really become relevant until the end. But my problem at the end is like, because the thing is, when you get to that ending, right, no matter how you look at it, this will always end the same way, because it doesn't really matter how many times she leaps, and ignoring the fact that she gets that one leap back anyways, but like, it doesn't matter how many times she leaps, it always ends with the same way anyways. Chiaki's gonna disappear. that is going to happen no matter what. So it's like, I feel like that kind of, for me, sort of, that kind of defeats the purpose, in my opinion, because it's like, no matter how much you change everyone else's lives, nothing is really going to change at the end anyways. The only thing that she changed in that entire time was whether or not she basically allowed the character of Chiaki to get girlfriends or not, like, are allowed to fucking confess to her. Or she confessed to them. That's
no, Tori, it's all about seeing a painting. That's more important.
that was very important. That is also one of those things where I'm sure that would make more sense if I had read the novel, but I don't get that part. I don't understand why that painting is so important for the future, but you know what? Sure. And the vague descriptions of in the future there is no baseball. It's like, okay.
Well, Tori, if you were a cultural individual and not a Neanderthal from Norway like you are, you'd understand the importance of art. Okay, so
sure.
Yeah, there's that. What do you say to that insult, sir?
I mean, I'm fair, but like at the same time, how exactly does that impact the future? Where it's like, how is this one painting going to be like? This one painting is the difference between a bright future with baseball, but it not being here. It's what leads to a dark future with no baseball.
Right, because if that painting inspired one person to
play baseball,
and have an alternative future rather than, I don't know, join the military and conquer another country.
No, wait, just different time frame.
But that's the thing. I think a lot of I feel like that's something they should have focused more on as well. Like, I feel like we don't understand a whole lot about what is actually happening in the future. Like, what is it about Chiaki's time?
Yeah, it's always a mystery that's not explored at all.
They'd basically just be like, he came from the future. He's looking for a painting. He needs it. The future's kind of bad. Yeah. Oh, what happened? Don't worry about it.
Present is
don't worry about it, but there's no baseball. That's Shohei Ohtani needs to see this painting.
It's but yeah, so I just feel like it doesn't deliver enough for what it shows, basically.
Yeah, you start to notice a lot more of its flaws when you rewatch it, but I mean that's kind of typical with any show you kind of watch that has a deeper plot than just, I don't know, like One Piece where you're just fighting people. Yeah, I know.
Let's be real. No one's rewatching One Piece. No one's actually rewatching One Piece.
Excuse you, sir.
No one.
This loser here has done that.
I don't even understand why you would bother.
Because it's a fucking fun show for me. Leave me alone. But ultimately, I'm still highly satisfied with a lot of what I saw and enjoyed. So from that factor, it's still a pretty highly rated movie and anime for me. But yeah, when it comes to the rewatch aspect, that's kind of more of what I was thinking about is what we've discussed so far. I am ready to score this. What about you guys?
Yeah,
sure.
Okay. I'll go first. So the first time I watched this, I thought it was one of the better movies I've ever seen. Movies, in particular. I went 9 out of 10. On rewatch, I'm going to bump it down to an 8. Wish there was more conflict. I wish it was more defined. I wish the ultimate end goal and a lot of the mysteries was more satisfying. Maybe we had more detail. It is only just over an hour and a half. So time constraints, but I think we could have cut out a lot of the middle aspects of it where she's abusing her powers. I think we'd get the point quicker, and then we could explore other things. So 8 out of 10, I think that's still very good. I think it's a movie everyone should give a watch, and it's one of the better things I think we've covered on the podcast to date, from movie-wise. Better than Rashomon, that's for sure.
True. I can agree with that at least.
Pumps fist, all right.
No, So yeah, no, I mean, I pretty much said what I wanted to say. I still feel like it's a little whimsical in execution.
Oh, I
There's some
guess.
context
Mamoru
missing.
Hosoda.
There's some, but even for him, this is
Yeah, no, but this
especially
is the first
But-
one. Give it a break.
no, especially because he ended up doing so much better. I refuse to give him a break. Like the movie kind of the conclusion isn't particularly satisfying. I liked it when I watched it the first time, but I didn't love it the first time either. Right, I ended up giving it like a 7 on the first watch, but like sort of rewatching it and kind of refiguring out a lot of these problems and some of the context missing again, not having read the novel, stuff like that I didn't even know existed. So there's that. That hurts it more for me. So like at the end of the day, I can't really justify giving it any more than a 6. It's an okay movie, definitely not a bad watch, but like if you're gonna watch a Hosoda work, watch Summer Wars or watch Wolf Children. Both of them are a lot better, in my opinion.
Bakemono no Ko is also really nice.
Is
But it's 2015.
That was also. I'm also kind of
in the collaboration between Mamoru Hosoda and Satoko Okudera Satoko, which is the script writer. Yeah, Wolf Children is just really good. Summer Wars is also really good. So watch them.
well,
because it's
Summer
written
Wars,
by the same
funny
person,
enough,
and then-
qualifies for review for the podcast next summer.
Ooh,
Wait,
we
what
have
does?
something for Summer Wars. Summer Wars.
Oh, Summer Wars, nice.
Yeah, definitely. Especially going into the future and all the wacky, dumb shit people in the internet love discussing these days. This is young kids with their metaverses and NFTs. Summer Wars is very contemporary to all those discussions, even though it's from 2009. So yeah, definitely a watch. So I think it's one, two of the best, or those two. Out of 5, we don't mention the other 2 because they're irrelevant. Yeah, the first time I watched it, I gave it an 8. Yeah, I'm biased against time traveling. Now, like rewatching now and with everything, I'll bump it down to 7. The first time you watch it's really good, especially if you don't watch a lot of time traveling things, and if you don't mind the little problems that may arise from watching it, but they will be mostly afterthoughts. You're gonna sit one day or after you watch it and be like, "Oh, this and this and this weren't as interested. I think they wasted too much time with a spoiled part of the time traveling. They could have gave some more interesting decisions, spend more time in the morning of the 2 characters that died at the end before she realized she could leap another time and stuff like that." And that definitely influences the second time you watch because you realize a bunch of major problems that have in this movie that are not even related to the fact there's a novel which works as a prequel to this. And if you realize that, also becomes an afterthought when you're watching it. It's like, oh, maybe the painting is special in the novel, but I'm not sure. Maybe there are other characters that appear in the novel that or also appear here, and they are, very important, but I'm not sure. For example, the teacher. You remember the teacher who applied the test? He appeared for like 2 minutes. He's one of the support characters in the novel, and he's the one who explains to the aunt what is teleportation, what is time traveling, and he knows that the aunt can do that. But in this case here, he's just oblivious science teacher. So every time you realize something about the story of this, the original the original novel as well, a little bit of the problems in the script of this, the score lowers and lowers and lowers. So I'm gonna settle on a 7, but I also agree with Tori that given consideration, this should be like kind of a 6. The animation is not there.
Oh, really? I
The
thought it
music-
was for 2006. Quite good.
It's way too cropped out. It's way
okay.
too like the animation of the character, sure, but the background is not lively. Even
Okay,
for
so that's okay.
2006. And it's
I
a
wanna,
movie. You need to remember that it's not.
yeah. But I
It's
want
not
to
a TV
interrupt you on that
series
one.
with
So-
3 hours. This is an hour and a half movie with some problems with the animation that should not be happening in 2006, especially 2006 Madhouse. Listen, in my opinion,
When it comes to viewing something in anime, because I've just gotten a few comments over the last few weeks over like old reviews I have on Mal, and when it comes to things happening in the foreground, for me, the animation's more important than anything going on in the background. Because I can watch a show like we watched here, Girl Who Leapt Through Time, and if the backgrounds are mostly still but everything happening in the foreground is very good, then I pay no mind to what's happening in the back. If the show starts losing me a little bit, then it starts to come into play more. Or, anyways, that's kind of the point there.
the problem is not so much that. The problem is like there's a lot of cropped out versions, like cropped out scenes,
I
like
just
30
never
seconds.
noticed that.
The 30 seconds of the bike wheel
Okay.
turning. You know,
Hmm.
30 seconds of them in a bike talking, panned out. So like I don't have any details on the faces and why not. I just see the mouth flapping.
You just see that. Okay.
And it's in the also of course it's in the sunset, so the colors are faded, so it's not vibrant and vivid.
I wish I
Not
had
a lot of
your sort of critical
characters.
eye on this, Hickey. It's always
So,
enlightening.
like-
I love it.
So because of that, it's like for a movie, usually movies have better animations. This is not like TV series where they're crunching everything. This is not a 3-4 hour movie. It's an hour and a half.
Do we
Less
know
than
the
an hour and a
budget for
half.
this?
No,
Hmm.
but even if you compare to like Summer Wars, 2 years later, Summer Wars is way better animation, and it's
Oh, I
kind of in the
definitely
same
agree with
time
that.
frame.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I wonder what the budget was for
But
this.
it's budget
and-
constraints. That's not a problem, but it does take in consideration that
Yeah, it made $3 million.
a lot of people go to a lot of people go to anime movies with the misconception notion they will look and sound better than the TV series. Like, this has become a kind of a myth ever since like 2015 or something.
Hmm.
Even earlier than that, actually, because we were talking about the ONAs of Garden of Sinners, which is kind of the same time frame.
Yeah, and that
there's
looks really
one.
good. Yeah,
And Garden of Sinners is being done as an OVA series.
Hickey, you're gonna make me retroactively lower this to a 7. You keep talking.
It's like, everything needs to be on coherent. If
Yeah,
I'm watching a show from 2006, I need to analyze this 2006. There's no point of me coming here like, oh, but if we compare to, the latest Mamoru Hosoda movie
2023,
where
it's
he
not gonna-
went,
yeah.
where he went, I am going to spend every single money I have in the animation, and the story is going to be kind of meh. It's not about that. It's like for 2006, there's some interesting aspects they did it.
Okay.
But of course, I also need to remember it's the first time Mamoru Hosoda is working with someone who is not wasn't as big because people didn't want to, bet a lot of money, especially Madhouse. Madhouse has always been in a state of failure.
Oh God. Well,
So they don't have a lot of money, and then
it's spread thin.
For
That's for
them-
sure.
for them to bet on a scriptwriter that never did anything anime related, and Mamoru Hosoda, which is our story puts Windskull. I think that influenced a little bit on the budget, but it's okay. It's animated. Don't need to worry about that.
I mean, the budget at least supposedly was like $3 million.
Oh, so they
But
just kind
that's
of broke
normal.
even.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
It's like-
wasn't successful then
That's-
box office wise because what is the
For a movie that's
what is-
low, I think actually, like 3
Well, the-
million is a series, it's a TV series.
I don't know. Well,
yeah,
I
but
think
you
that's
want
a
to
little bit
at least
more.
what the average.
double your budget when you make
Yeah.
to call it making money and being successful.
But I think you'd have to look at the average budget of an animated movie in Japan
In
around,
2006.
2000s. Yeah, because like I don't know what that is, and I can't really find any sources of it either. I just did a quick Google search and I see people
Yeah, I
talking
should
about
listen
it being
Actually,
having
read it
$3
in
million
Japanese.
of a yeah. So it's like I can't verify if that is true or not. But,
Okay.
like yeah, and again I don't know what that means. Is that a lot or a little? It doesn't sound like a lot, but at the same time, I know there was a while in Japan where movies weren't really considered that good. They weren't really worth it. Like movies was like an art form, not so much a commercial product. Because like there was a while where people just didn't go to watch movies, especially not anime movies.
Shocking.
Yeah. All right, guys. That does it for this episode, the last episode of 2023. See you guys next year.
Peace.
Goodbye.